What is going on, guys? It's Canadian Yorker here. Wanted to get to talk with you guys about the country of South Sudan. I mentioned before in my last video that we're going to definitely talk about South Sudan, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted to shed some light on a brand new African country that has a brand new that's very fresh and into coming into Paris, into the Olympics here. And so this kind of caught my attention because I think it's important to focus on some of the talent that is coming from Africa and from other parts of the world. And we can see how basketball is definitely changing the lives of people who are not from the U.S., but it's definitely changing lives for the better, as it does change the lives for all people. So there's an article written by Sports Illustrated here talking about former NBA basketball player Luol Deng. He has led South Sudan to the Paris Olympics. And so this article was written just 2 days ago, on July 9th, 2024. And so the article says how former NBA star Luol Deng led South Sudan basketball to Paris Olympics. The world's newest nation is set to play in Paris this summer, thanks to a visionary two-time All-Star and Refugee. Last September, as the celebration picked up steam inside a cramped South Sudanese locker room in Araneta Coliseum in Manila, Luol Deng paused to reflect on the surrealness of it all. Luol Deng is a 15-year NBA veteran. He had come to spend the last 4 years in a new role, president of the South Sudan Basketball Federation. How South Sudan was won its independence in 2011, had even fielded a national team. How his country became the world's youngest country, had punched its tickets to the Olympics. He didn't think that they would get there this quickly. It's kind of insane. Here, or rather there in Paris, with South Sudan, after knocking off Angola to clinch its berth as the highest finishing African team at the FIBA World Cup, will compete this summer. In 2019, Deng, still settling into retirement, got a call from his brother, Deng. The government needs someone to run the basketball program. Would you be interested? Luol was born in what was known as Sudan in 1985. Sudan was one country. Sudan, there was no South Sudan, it was just Sudan. When he was 5 years old, with the country in the throes of a civil war, he and his family moved to Egypt, where he learned basketball from another Sudanese refugee, Manute Bol, who then in the midst of a 13-year NBA career. 5 years later, Deng landed in London, then the U.S., where he developed into elite high school prospect. In 2012, Deng represented Great Britain in the Olympics, but only because South Sudan, which gained independence from Sudan a year earlier, had no team. I'm very grateful to be playing for Great Britain provided, but if South Sudan had a team, I would have been on it. After speaking to his brother, Deng accepted the offer, though the challenges were quickly apparent. There was a team, sort of, but there was no infrastructure. No facilities, no fundings. I had to pay myself. The country wasn't against the idea of a national basketball team, such as it was indifferent to it. Understandable given the situation. A lot of people didn't see what the point was. They didn't see the vision of it. Changing people's minds on how things would have been done in the past, and making people believe that this could be different was something special. To be honest, most of the people I spoke to didn't see how this was a good thing. Going forward, Deng's vision was simple. African basketball was divided into zones. Perform well in the zone, you compete in AfroBasket, a continent-wide tournament, and then you are entered into the FIBA World Cup Africa's qualifiers. Perform well there, and the world's youngest nation would be off to Paris. Deng got to work quickly. He needed a coach. Long after moving to the U.S., that talks about his career. Okay, he got into the Blair Academy in Blairstown, New Jersey, and he met Royal Ivy, a 6'3" guard. They became great friends, and then after coaching South Sudan team in his first year, Deng called Ivy an assistant with the Nets. He offered Ivy the job, the non-paying job. Ivy, eager to build his first NBA head coach resume, accepted. Recruiting is next. So Deng went around and recruited other players. There's a talent pool of players with South Sudan ties. Many, like Deng, possess dual citizenship. So Deng's challenge was to get players to forgo other opportunities to play for more established national teams to commit to playing for the South Sudan team. Every player was different. There was some who right away wanted to be a part of it. There was some that took a little bit of convincing, a little bit of back and forth. Deng was convincing. Wayne Gabriel, a 5-year NBA veteran, signed on. Carlick Jones, who played 2 seasons with 3 NBA teams, joined too. Majuk Deng, Luol's cousin, is on the roster. I convinced them that this is what our plan is and this is what we're trying to do. And they are committed to it. So Deng wondered if this is going to work. South Sudan competed in the qualifying tournament in Cameroon. When the team arrived, 4 players Deng tested positive for COVID-19, forcing them out of the tournament. South Sudan went 1-1, losing a spot in the AfroBasket qualifier to Cape Verde. Says Deng, our teams were shattered. So not long after, they got a call from a FIBA official in Algeria. One of the basketball teams in AfroBasket was in drawing, citing COVID-related issues that weren't allowed outside the country. Could South Sudan throw a team together? It was a no-brainer. After scrambling the team, South Sudan entered the qualifier and kept playing well to reach the World Cup, where it earned its Olympic bid with a 23-point win over Angola to become the lowest-ranked team to qualify for the Olympics since 2004. So Deng is thrilled with the program's success, but they still have a long way to go because they have to continue. They got to build basketball courts in South Sudan, and Deng is building an indoor facility in the state of Juba, and they want to build 9 more courts. So Deng's basically supported the South Sudan Basketball Federation, and he signed on for the federation. Deng, he effectively bankrolled it. The team's recent run has gotten a lot of money flowing. MTN, Africa's largest mobile network operator, signed on as a sponsor. Peak Sports, a Chinese clothing company, offered a merchandise deal. Deng organized an exhibition game against the U.S. team in July, where he wants to increase visibility. They have an opportunity to change the narrative of South Sudan, but they have a community that's beyond basketball. The team has brought together a war-torn country, and there's occasions that 2 people have celebrated in South Sudan. One was Independence Day, and the other was when we qualified for the Olympics and came back home. In time, Deng's hope believes there will be more. As his team celebrated its Olympic bid, Deng shouted from the back of the room, "Where are we going?" "Paris," the players replied. Basketball is the biggest thing going on in South Sudan. There's a lot of pride in being a top team in Africa, and it's just the beginning. So there we go, guys. We got an interesting story unfolding in front of us with the country of South Sudan coming out of civil war and coming back to going from literally refugees to going to becoming Olympic, possibly Olympic gold champions or gold medalists in this Paris Olympics going forward. So this is the article here. I'm definitely going to be sharing this with you so you can read up on it yourself. I mean, it is a pretty fascinating story to see what's going on with South Sudan, and all the best to them going forward as the Paris Olympics draws closer on July 27th. We're definitely going to see these guys perform. So there's a lot of storylines happening right now going on with the Paris Olympics, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen going forward. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the Paris Olympics and I'll be letting you guys know what's happening going forward. So have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your night, and have a great night.